Welcome to 5 to 9, the movie game for movie fans. We have to connect actors to actors through no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg, and we're coming to you live on tape from the boardwalk in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Do you love movies? Do you love getting lost in the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database? Do you love talking through, who is that guy? Who is in that thing? What's his face? Then this is your show, and this is your game. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce today's contestants, but first, I want to remind you that if you'd like to be a contestant on 5 to 9, you can enter for a chance to be on our show by beating us at our own game. Just download for free or purchase official 5 to 9 game cards at 5to9game.com. That's the number 5, T-O, number 9, game.com. Play today's challenge, post a photo of your winning game card on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and tag at 5 to 9 game in your post. All right, so my first guest I'm about to introduce told me that the movie that he thinks is the most maybe underappreciated or undervalued movie is Groundhog Day, and he says that not just because he just spent his 14th year consecutively seeing Punxsutawney Phil, the prognosticator of prognosticators, in Pennsylvania live, but because he's also going to be going there for the 15th year next time. My first guest, the lead singer and songwriter of Puppy Grease, is Mark Brunetti.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
So, Mark, tell me, why is Groundhog Day underappreciated? Because I feel like even though it didn't do great at the box office, it really has been appreciated, and especially we can all see that based on the Super Bowl commercials from this year, that everybody was excited about it. What is your feeling about why that movie's underappreciated?
Well, not to say that I am a Buddhist, but the ultimate Buddhist question is, what would you do if you could live forever? And that movie addresses that issue in many ways, with Bill Murray's continual waking up on the same exact day.
Yeah,
every single day for his life.
Originally, when it was written, it was when they cast Bill Murray, it was a lot more just kind of jokey comedy slapstick, and Bill Murray really wanted to get a little more philosophical, a little more dramatic with it, and Harold Ramis didn't want to deal with it, and so he sent Bill Murray to go work with the writer of the film, and they really started crafting something better than what everybody read when they were first cast, and so what wound up coming out on set wound up being a much better movie in the long run.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in order for Bill Murray to learn everything that he learned in that movie, playing drums, playing all the instruments, learning art, learning multiple languages, he had to have been alive for many, many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't depicted correctly in the movie. But
I think I read somewhere that it was like over 1,000 years.
Well over.
Yeah.
They even said, with the languages that he learned, the poetry he memorized.
Sure.
He had to be around for a while. There's the one scene where he has to rob the truck, and he just counts down from 20, and then he nonchalantly walks over, picks it up. Think about how many times he probably got arrested trying to steal that money from that scene.
That's true. There were a lot of, one time I tried to count the days, and I realized, we've skipped a lot of days here.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized this is an impossible goal. And he and Harold Ramis had worked on so many projects before, as far back as Caddyshack and Stripes and Ghostbusters, but after that movie, they didn't talk for 20 years. Their friendship was burned by the end of that movie, in part because Bill Murray was going through a divorce and just awful to be around on set.
And even though he's known for all his comedy movies, back then he did Razor's Edge.
Sure.
Very serious war movie. And
totally
asks
tanked.
A lot of those,
totally
essential
tanked.
life questions.
So I'm going to introduce our next guest. Our next guest is in The Idea Men. And he runs sound here at a number of venues around Asbury Park. He's a phenomenal photographer. If you are looking at our podcast album art right now, he took that photograph. He is my friend. He's about to be your friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Raspanti.
Yo, how's it going, Eric?
It's going okay, Matt.
And Mark, of course.
Hello, Matt.
From the greasiest band in Asbury Park.
Puppy Grease.
Matt's favorite brand.
This is true. This is true.
Absolutely not.
In fact, I'm waiting for the doubleheader between Puppy Grease and The Idea Men.
I'm waiting for that too. Actually.
Sometime very soon.
So
but Matt, let me first of all tell you that you and I agree that maybe the worst movie we ever wound up paying to see in the theater, we're so angry we wasted all our money on, was Aquaman.
Oh, God. Horrible.
What a turd.
You know, I thought it was going to be good. I mean, if you're watching any of the video for this, you might have noticed, but like a lot of people around here say I look like Aquaman, so it was like, my movie is going to be great. So I have long hair. I went there. I was all jazzed for it. I got there. I watched this movie, and it was like, it was a visual. It was a visual. I can't say the word right now, but it was horrible. I didn't really like the movie at all. They had a gigantic octopus that played the drums, and like that's what they used a gigantic octopus for. I couldn't get over it. It was just like, you spent all that time, all those resources training him how to play the drums. Like that's how many years of that thing's life was he being shocked while playing, like, you know, paradiddles? Like, it doesn't work for me.
Because you have to remember, only Aquaman can talk to the fish, which means you're right. He did have to get trained like any other.
And now he's got to like hear that drum, you know, like the sad drumming of a tortured octopus for the rest of like his life. It's terrible. Like, I just didn't think it, and it couldn't pick a tone if it wanted to be a funny or a serious movie. They threw too much into it. It was just unenjoyable.
I mean, there is a DC animated film that is literally every step-by-step this movie, and then they just made it live action. So there was no surprise. There was no who is this character, we all knew. But for me, the most frustrating part of the movie was the entire premise is the chase for the MacGuffin. Are they going to get this gold trident? Are they going to get it? Does it exist? Is it real? Was it a myth? Look at every single movie poster. He's holding it.
Yeah.
He's holding it. The scene where he gets it and walks through the waterfall, that's the movie poster. And one of the movie posters is just his hand holding the trident above the water. I wonder, is he going to get the thing that every single poster shows me he gets? I wonder.
Yeah, you got to leave a little bit of mystery there for the audience to kind of have something into. Yeah.
And they didn't.
But it still made over $1 billion, right?
It did, but most of that money's in China, which doesn't count. I mean, it counts.
Hold on. Did you just tell me Chinese money doesn't count?
No, what I'm saying is in many cases, studios, and I'm not saying if it's DC, in many cases, studios sell the international box office for a flat amount. And so they don't actually wind up getting all those dollars because they hedge their bets. And so they're distributing it in America and they're making a dollar for dollar here in the States.
Wow.
But for the international distribution, depending on the deal they made, they might not actually be making all those Chinese dollars, which is the second biggest market for movies at this point. So just kind of an interesting thing. So guys, listen, we've invited you both here today to play the movie game 5 to 9, where you're going to have to connect 2 actors through no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies. So here's how we're going to play the game. Before our show, I asked you guys to both write down the names of 5 actors. We put those names in a hat, and now we're going to randomly pull 2 of them, and that's who you're going to have to connect. So let me see our first, and you're going to see right there, you guys have game
cards. You might want to mix those up, because it looks like a lot of mine on the top.
I'm gonna mix them up. So guys, what I want you to do is, and you 5 to 9ers listening at home or in the car or in bed or in other places where you might be listening to a podcast, you can find our game card at 5to9game.com. Gentlemen, you each have a gamepad in front of you, so you're going to see on top a space for the from, a space for the to, and so in the from, we're going to go from Gwyneth Paltrow. That's our from, and we're going to go to Danny DeVito, Asbury Park legend from right here in our town. So that's your from, that's your to, and we're also going to draw a third name as a wild card. If you can go through that wild card, you can earn 3 bonus points. So I'm going to kind of dig around and see what's the wild card. Guys, our wild card, if we can get through Robert Downey Jr., you can get 3 bonus points. And finally, we're going to spin our house rule wheel. Each time you guys hit the house rule, you're going to get a bonus. Let's spin the wheel. Matt, would you like to do the honors? Just give the wheel a little tap, and it's going to spin.
Suck it, Mark.
Oh, well. Ryan, it looks like it's movies from before you were born is going to be our house rule for this round. So if you can include movies from before you were born, each one's going to be worth an extra point. All right? So Mark, Matt, you'll be playing together. I'll be here on the sidelines to offer some help along the way, but not too much. Are you guys ready to play the game?
Ready.
All right, so before we start, I have to apologize in advance to the actors who spent a career building a body of work whose faces we know, but whose names we may butcher, and to all the hardworking writers, directors, and producers who picked the perfect name for a film that we may likely fumble through. I swear, we really do love your work. So guys, we are going from Gwyneth Paltrow to Danny DeVito. If we can go through Robert Downey Jr., you're going to get the bonus points. And keep in mind, any movie from before you were born. Now, you're going to kind of out yourselves in terms of age here, but I'm going to trust you. If you say it's before you were born, I'm going to guess it was. If you say The Lion King, I'm going to think you're full of it. So, talk it through. Start shouting out Gwyneth Paltrow movies, and let's see if we can get there.
Wait, are we working together on this?
You are playing together. This is a team effort.
It's got less interesting.
Wasn't she in Spider-Man?
Kind of. She had a cameo at the... Am I allowed to do this?
Yeah, go for it.
She had a cameo at the end of the first Spider-Man movie.
Because then we can get to Robert Downey Jr.
Well, I was going to say she's also in every Iron Man movie.
That
they're
works
married.
too.
Yeah, you could just go with that.
All right,
she plays
fine.
Pepper Potts, right?
Yes,
she
that's
was
true.
in. We can get Robert Downey Jr. off number 2.
Boom.
Who was
so we
in-
have from Gwyneth Paltrow, who was in, pick one of those movies.
None of these are from before I was born, but you have any? And does it have to? Do we have to say
Pick
the same
one.
movie? Okay, cool.
No,
great,
I mean
because-
we're going together, but yeah,
Was
just
in
pick one we're
Iron
doing.
Man.
Sure.
With Robert Downey Jr.
She actually really hated making those movies, and after the second Iron Man movie, she really didn't want to do them anymore, which is why her part in Avengers is so small. And then she disappeared for a little bit. She had well, I don't say disappeared. She definitely was in Iron Man 3, but she was very vocal about not really enjoying doing the movies, and she was especially really disdainful in Iron Man 2 of Scarlett Johansson. The two of them did not get along well by I guess mid-shoot.
Whatever, none of us like our jobs, none of us like the people we work with. Get over it, Gwyneth. Let's move on. That's what I say. It's
I gotta
work.
say, I mean, I wouldn't
That's
mind
what
either
work's
of them
all
as
about, right,
co-stars,
Chris?
and-
No.
Chris agrees.
All right, so now we have to get from Robert Downey Jr. to Danny DeVito. Now, part of the
yourself.
challenge is we got to do it in no fewer than 5 moves. So even
Oh,
if
we
you have a
could do
movie they
this.
were in together,
And we could probably go back
That's
before
gonna
we
be
were
too
born
easy.
to the
from Robert
Cuckoo's
Downey
Nest.
Jr. with Danny DeVito.
We
When
can get to
were
Danny
they-
DeVito and
No, I
Cuckoo's.
know.
There's
We
so
can-
many stars in Cuckoo's Nest. We can get here. What else is Robert Downey Jr. in? Give me anything.
He was in. Let's see. He was in
Anything.
Chaplin, which not
that
Danny
Chaplin
DeVito.
was a great movie.
Yeah, it was
Well,
a great
here's the-
movie, but Danny DeVito was
We
not in it.
don't want to go to Danny DeVito just yet because we have to do no fewer than 5 movies.
True.
If we got to Danny DeVito in like 2 movies, we would not win the game.
Now-
so we actually have to travel around for a
Wait,
bit.
we have to
Chaplin-
get exactly 5?
No, 5 to 9. It's
Oh,
a
5 to
range.
9,
That's the
all
name
right.
of the show. We have a range.
Oh.
What did you think that was?
I
for,
thought
man?
I thought we were in the studio from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
You thought we got swindled
I thought
into
it
a
was the
job, didn't you?
timing.
Oh my gosh.
Not
so much.
Yeah, what a way to make a living. But I think a really good movie is Chaplin because there's so many stars in Chaplin.
Let's go Chaplin.
Who was in
You want to go
Chaplin?
Chaplin?
R. Downey Jr. and Chaplin.
All right.
Chaplin was a great movie.
I gotta say, never seen Chaplin.
Well, Charlie Chaplin entered into a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest
right?
and lost.
Yeah.
He came in like 5th or 6th
To
place. or
Robert Downey
something.
Jr.?
And not at the time, no.
Oh, okay.
But Chaplin was such a great movie. He was nominated for an Academy Award.
I knew that.
I mean, he actually was also nominated. Did he actually win? I don't think he won. He was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Tropic Thunder for his
I
portrayal
remember that.
of
He did not
Lazarus.
win.
No,
But,
but
yeah.
it was a comedy.
Very good.
He was in blackface the whole time, and the Academy went for it because Oscar's so white.
He's a method actor.
That was their way of getting
Yeah.
black people in was Robert Downey Jr. Can they count him?
Cool.
So who was in Chaplin? Talk it through. Who was in
good.
Chaplin?
I honestly, I said I don't. Chaplin might not have been a good one for me to pick because I don't necessarily know anybody who's.
Well, how about if we do Tropic Thunder then?
If we did Tropic Thunder, I could nail everybody. That's
Let's
in there.
cross out Chaplin. Let's
Chaplin.
put
Can we do
Tropic
Tropic Thunder? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And he was in there with
who was in
Tom
there with
Cruise?
Tom Cruise. Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Tom Cruise. I feel we can go a lot with Tom Cruise here.
Thomas Cruise?
Thomas Cruise. Let's do his full name.
Sure.
Oh, I spelt Thomas wrong.
Actually, if you want to go full name, you're going to go Mapother, because his actual name is Tom Mapother.
Oh, I didn't know we could make up stuff on
Glenridge,
this
New
podcast.
Jersey, if memory serves me correctly, right?
Yeah, and he's got a middle tooth. If you ever look online,
Yeah, his teeth are all
if there's a
jacked.
line going straight down his face, he's got a tooth in the middle.
Well, I heard he had a lot of facial surgery when
Well,
he came out to California.
yeah, if you
to
look
get
at
him to
him-
look like if you look at Risky Business versus now too, a little bit different too.
And,
yeah.
and the Outsiders, his teeth are,
Jacked.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
he's beautiful. He's, listen, Rosie O'Donnell was totally in love with him and gay.
So she called him a cutie patootie.
I mean, she called him every name she could call a man she was in love with.
I feel like I'm showing my age if I'm quoting Rosie O'Donnell in
That's
a
okay.
daytime talk show that she had when I was sick.
You loved it.
The best
awesome.
daytime talk show was just when you could be sick at home with your grandma, just watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that Drew Carey still reminds us to spay and neuter our cats and dogs. That makes me so excited. So we're going from Tom Cruise. We're still trying to get to Danny DeVito, and there's so many options
What's
for Tom
the Tom
Cruise.
Cruise movie where he's dreaming and he's got a messed up face
Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
with Gwyneth Paltrow?
Well, no,
No,
actually,
we've already
that
used
was
her,
Cameron Diaz.
and that was not Gwyneth Paltrow.
But
Close, buddy.
that was actually a remake.
I've only seen 4 movies my entire life. Let's be honest.
Vanilla Sky was a remake of a Spanish movie called Abre los ojos, which is Open Your Eyes.
Oh,
And
orange eyes.
That was Cameron Crowe's follow-up to Almost Famous, and I gotta be honest, I didn't like it that much. I saw it in the theater, Vanilla Sky, and the acting was great, and Kurt Russell was great, and everybody was great, and I just didn't like it.
All right.
Maybe it was the kind of a head trip. I don't like when you get to the end of a movie and it's oh, nothing you saw was real. It was fake the whole time. I don't like that kind of stuff.
I think it just depends on the reveal because you could do that fairly well.
Sure, Fight Club did it well.
Fight Club did it well. We were like, oh,
And then
crap.
Joker said, "Hey, remember Fight Club?
Yeah.
Let's show you that again."
I saw that one coming a mile
Yeah,
away.
me
though,
too.
man. Like, that
and
was
they
easy.
didn't need to show it to
No,
us.
yeah, I think. Oh, the same thing with Birdman though. I feel like Birdman could have ended
Oh yeah.
15 minutes early.
Perfect. Would have been perfect.
If he died on stage
Perfect.
to cap off his
The
career, I would have
end.
been 100%
and,
there.
And then the epilogue is just the journalist writing about what a great show it was and totally committed to his art.
But you
was
try
the
to
end.
give me this floating away
And it's
where
better
you're just
nose.
like, dude, no, like
the
no.
awkward nose.
That sounds like something that happened an afterthought in post. It's like when you add something to the bottom of a paper right before you hand it in. You're like, oh, I really jazzed it up.
No, you
and then
didn't.
it butchers your
Like
whole
when you say
conclusion.
in conclusion.
Yeah, exactly.
what I
It's like
said.
this is what I put in here. It's just no, it's not good. I don't know.
All right, so how are we going to get from Thomas Cruise
Cruise.
to Danny DeVito? And we have so many options, and if you guys want to go Vanilla Sky, we can.
Inglorious Bastards.
Was Tom Cruise in Inglourious
I think you're
Bastards?
thinking of Valkyrie.
No.
Valkyrie was great.
Wasn't
Pretty
he in
good movie.
Inglorious Bastards? Wasn't
Tom
he like
Cruise?
one of the...
You're thinking of Valkyrie.
You're thinking of Valkyrie,
No,
where
I'm not
he was a
thinking of
Nazi
Valkyrie.
movie.
Tom Cruise wasn't in
directed
it.
by a singer, right?
He was in disguise, though, in Inglorious Bastards.
No, you're thinking of Tropic Thunder, which we're already coming from. But so, do we want to go Valkyrie? Do we want to go?
Chris, what are you
Vanilla
doing?
Sky?
Chris,
I don't know if Chris is allowed to be here,
could,
but...
if you could Wikipedia this while we're doing this.
All right.
I mean, we can move on to something else.
No, we
Sure.
need to connect Tom Cruise into a movie with Danny DeVito.
Well, actually,
Well, we
no.
still have two
we
more
still have to
people to
get
go
several
through.
movies to get to 5.
cool.
We got to our wild card so fast.
Well, yeah, that
which
was
is great.
Way too easy right there.
No,
but,
I think that's good that we did that. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get to
By
Danny
all
DeVito.
means, get the point. So are we going Valkyrie, Vanilla Sky, somewhere else?
No?
I called it. The judges are saying no. I called
I
it.
wish
We'll
this
see.
was the
It's
game
not
because I could
Valkyrie.
make you lose very easily with this one.
But again, I mean, Valkyrie was this great kind of World War II movie where they just CGI'd off 2 of Tom Cruise's fingers and called it method acting. But it was, honest to God, really good. I really enjoyed it.
To a point, because it did do the thing that most war movies do that I kind of have a huge problem with: Germans with British accents.
Oh, sure. I mean,
But the
that's just
thing
how
was,
movies
they
get made.
give you a minute and a half of German, of Tom Cruise speaking German in a voiceover.
And then we get
and
a
the camera
babblefish
pans around.
stuck into our ear.
Yeah. And then you get English, and
but
you're
they
like,
visually show us, okay, we're going to flip it just so you know,
I know.
they're talking
They do
German.
flip the whole camera
They
around, so it gives you this
did do it
for
well.
dumb people. But still, it's like, you know, you could have done it. You could have done it right. You did it wrong.
I don't think we need to watch Tom Cruise speak German. This is not K-19 The Widowmaker, where they literally spoke in Russian the entire time with
that was
Harrison
so
Ford
good.
and
Come
Liam
on.
Neeson.
And I don't
Totally
think that's
I
gonna make the
liked that
connection.
movie. It's
No,
not, but I loved
no.
that movie. That was a good
Okay,
one too.
so from Tom Cruise, where are we going? And we can go a lot of places.
Yeah, there's a lot of
If it helps, you can kind of think backwards from Danny DeVito. You can kind of back into that spot.
Well, I
but
say
That's
we
what I'm
go
thinking
for those
as well.
extra points with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's so many actors in that.
sure.
But he wasn't in Tom Cruise wasn't in that, so he can't just write.
Well,
one
and-
thing.
no, I'm saying
and again,
Danny
that's two she
DeVito.
moves.
But we definitely need to throw something with that because I want those extra bonus.
Well, let
points.
me ask you this, guys. Kevin Bacon, the perennial bonus point for 2 points. Was Kevin Bacon ever in a movie with Tom Cruise? Could we go through him and get some points? Or was Danny DeVito ever in a movie with Kevin Bacon and we could go through that way to get some bonus points?
Are they both in Greece?
No. I don't think either of them were in Greece, really. Maybe in your heart they
Oh,
were.
I'm thinking Footloose. That's the movie I was thinking.
You're
with
thinking
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, but there was, and this is the one guy from Taxi, I can never remember his name. It's not Jerry Connolly, it's a different JC name.
Jesus Christ.
Sure, that's the
Can't
one.
believe it took us this long to bring him up.
There we go. But he was in Taxi with Danny DeVito and with
Can we do
Christopher
TV
Lloyd.
shows?
We can't, unfortunately. This
I
is a
didn't think
movie
so.
game for movie fans.
Not a TV show game
But
for a TV fan.
there
Well,
you
he's
go.
talking about Taxi. I wonder why he's even bringing it up.
Because
Because a guy from Greece was in a thing with Danny DeVito.
Same thing with Christopher Lloyd being in Taxi, which doesn't help us.
It doesn't
Guys,
help
we only
us.
have till 9 o'clock.
I know.
This
We
5
could
to
be
9.
talking about this all day, and we still need to pick a Tom Cruise movie.
Pick literally
that
any Tom
isn't
Cruise
Tropic
movie.
Thunder. He's definitely.
Nope, definitely not.
Oh my god.
I like for audio purposes how you like lean away from the mic so that we can't hear what you're saying. It's my favorite part of the podcast.
Wait, is it still getting in?
Now it is, but not when you cover the mic and turn your head away from it. That's how microphones work. All right, so where are we going
All
from
right,
Tom
so
Cruise?
Tom
We're still
Cruise.
here with Tom Cruise, and I gotta say, I only really know like 5 Tom Cruise movies.
Name them.
Jerry Maguire,
All right.
Tropic Thunder.
Okay.
We just brought up Vanilla Sky,
Sure.
so I'm shoehorning that one in. Risky
Sure.
Business, and
Do
let's
it.
say not Tropic Thunder, but the other one. I think it was Days of Thunder, where he was.
Was that the one he
race
felt
car
the
driver.
need for speed? Was that
No,
that movie?
that
We need
is Top
other
Gun.
people in this. We
The
can't
need,
just...
the need for speed is Top Gun, clearly. And
gotcha.
actually, we could do Top Gun because he does have a great link to Val Kilmer,
It does.
who I have no idea if he's ever been in a movie with Danny DeVito, but we can always go from there.
Well, there's a connection. It's just a little too loose because I don't think anybody here knows the name of the actor who played Alfred, the only unifying piece of the first 4 Batman movies. Because obviously Danny DeVito was the Penguin in Batman Returns,
Oh, shoot.
and Val Kilmer
That
was
was this-
Batman in Batman Forever.
The exact
but again,
same
the
Alfred.
only actor in both was the same Alfred. Other than that, everything just went out the window.
Can't we go with the same Alfred actor?
If you know his name, you
know
can.
his
But if you
name?
don't know his name, we can't cheat. I mean, listeners at home could probably cheat, but we don't know his
I'm
name.
Glover.
I can
No,
tell you
that's
that
the other
Ephraim
Batman.
Zimbalist was the voice of Alfred on Batman the Animated Series.
doesn't help
but-
us.
No, it doesn't help us at
No,
all.
because we can't use TV shows, Eric.
No, we cannot. That's not what this game is.
So have we picked a Tom Cruise movie?
We haven't. We have so many options, though. Literally, pick any one.
Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire? You
Show
want to go
me
with
the
Jerry
money.
Maguire? Let's do it.
Do we have other people in that?
Yeah.
Who else
We
is
do.
in that?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Sure was.
The other person who's in that, he's in love, Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, she
that's
is
another
in that.
person you could
She is-
possibly-
So-
he had her at Hello.
Well, we have Jerry Maguire with...
I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is a really good
Cuba
one
Gooding
because
Jr.?
Cuba Gooding
Wasn't
Jr.
he in Toy?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Or Toys?
Toys was a great movie with Robin Williams that had LL Cool J in it. and not Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, you could have had me there too, because I don't remember who that was, and I was
Toys,
like,
actually,
was it
Toys
him?
was a really interesting story because Robin
Thank you,
Williams
Eric.
was
Thank
so
you.
excited about making Toys that when he got talked into doing the voice of the genie in Aladdin,
Toys.
he was really clear, like, you can't use me in publicity, you can't, like, put my name on top of the poster, because he really wanted to put out Toys. That was his big focus, and they were going to come out at the same time, and they were going to compete. And then Disney said, whatever, we're doing it. It's a Robin Williams movie. They put his name on top, and he was so furious. That's how they had to wind up with
Dan Castellaneta.
Dan Castellaneta
Look where we are
as the
today.
genie
Yep.
in the sequel that went straight to video, although eventually Disney
Having
did
said
make
that,
their
Return of
apologies.
Jafar-
And, yeah,
He's awesome.
he is.
It's actually pretty good. That's the
Yeah.
third one, right? Or no?
Well, Return of Jafar is the second one,
Oh,
but
okay,
then
so-
Robin Williams did wind up coming back for Aladdin, the King of Thieves.
Yes,
where you
that
bring
was
in Aladdin's
That's
dad.
where they bring Aladdin's father into it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Robin Williams did wind up coming back for them. And so we're at Cuba Gooding Jr., and I've got a great Cuba Gooding Jr. movie in mind.
Snow Dogs?
Let's just put Snow Dogs over here with Daddy Day Camp in the we're not going to talk
All right,
about
awesome.
these parts
Yeah,
of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s.
I'm glad you land there, because my girlfriend roasted me like incessantly because I've never seen Snow Dogs. And I was like,
man.
hold on, no. This needs to be reversed because you've
like-
actually watched it.
It's like Air Bud meets 101 Dalmatians.
Hey now, Air Bud is a classic.
Yeah. A classic what, though?
Classic movie.
So Cuba Gooding Jr. was in a movie where two actors won Academy Awards. Two actors. Can you
But
think
not
of the
him.
movie? Not Cuba Gooding Jr.
Was it Radio?
He was a supporting character. It was not Radio. It was not Radio.
Yeah, you can send me for watching that movie too. That was a pretty bad
It
one.
was pretty awful. So
To quote Robert Downey Jr., you don't go full. I can't say.
yeah, no, we're not going to say it on this show. That's
just don't
true.
do it.
That's true. So what was Cuba Gooding Jr. in with a couple of Academy Award winners?
Men of Honor with Robert De Niro. And that was a great movie.
But that movie did not win an Academy
And
Award.
Jack
And this was a
Nicholson?
movie. Jack Nicholson in what movie?
You can't handle the truth.
Few Good Men?
That is actually true. They were both in that one, but did
5 points?
Holy shit.
That is true.
Oh,
so
5 points.
let's do for it. Let's do it right now. So we're
Who
going to go
was
with
in A Few Good Men?
With my goodness, hold on. We were going to get there
Jack
to
Nicholson,
get to
man.
Jack Nicholson, and we can do that.
Oh, and
my
we can actually
God.
get. Finally.
With Jack Nicholson.
Thanks
Wait,
for leading us.
Can
by
I
the
ask
hand
another
there.
question? Do I have to do this by myself after this? Because
I mean,
I don't think I could do this without you guys.
for the rest of your life, sure. But Jack Nicholson was in. Let's go for it.
Yeah, he was in
Nicholson, who was in
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Did you
One
forget?
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
With
Chris from the back.
he's not on the show. He's running sound.
Sorry.
With Hit Me.
Sorry, I'm still trying to spell cuckoo right.
The guy from Back to the Future.
Who is in?
Oh, just go
with
straight
Christopher?
there.
No. I
Guys,
thought,
who are we trying to get to?
I thought you said Danny DeVito was
Danny
in that
DeVito,
movie. Yeah, exactly.
yes, he was one of the patients in the asylum, and we've done it. We did it. It's happened. So let's talk about it, guys. We went from Gwyneth Paltrow to Danny DeVito through Robert Downey Jr. Gwyneth Paltrow was in Iron Man, as well as several other MCU movies, including the heartbreaking end of Avengers Endgame with Robert Downey Jr., who was in Tropic Thunder, where he was totally method. I want to say, for those of you who are here in Crinkling, these guys got popcorn on the way into the studio.
It's a
'cause
movie
they-
game.
It's a movie game.
It's a movie
show.
game.
So he's in
Wait, should I
Tropic
turn
Thunder.
away from the mic? I don't know how this works.
With the Tropic Thunder.
Lean in for ASMR.
With an almost unrecognizable Tom Cruise,
those videos.
who was
Yes.
great, who was in Jerry Maguire with Cuba Gooding Jr., who was in not just A Few Good Men, but also in As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson.
Oh.
But A Few Good Men did have Kevin Bacon. We didn't use him, so we don't get the points. But Jack Nicholson, of course, was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a movie from before you were born, hitting our house rule and a bonus point going into Danny DeVito. So here's what we're going to do, guys. At the bottom of the card, we're going to total up the points. Listeners, you can check out how to tally up these points if you go to our website, get our game card, 5to9game.com. We're going to do 10 minus the number of movies. We had 5 movies, so 10 minus 5 is 5 points.
Wait, wasn't Robert
Kevin
Robert
Bacon was in that
Downey
movie,
Jr.?
right?
He was, but we didn't use him.
Was it Robert Downey Jr., an SNL
He
cast
was an
member?
SNL cast member. We get the bonus point for that.
There
We
it
also
is.
get 3 bonus points for him being our wild card. We get 1 bonus point for our house rule because you went through 1 movie from before you were born. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Double digits, gentlemen. Very well
got
done.
10?
At the top of the card, we hit 10 points, and you have both and you have both won the game. Listeners, I want to make sure that you guys check out the Idea Men playing around Asbury Park and everywhere else. Check out Puppy Grease playing around Asbury Park and everywhere else. Mark from Puppy Grease, Matt from the Idea Men, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be on 5 to 9 today, for playing our game. You've each won the official 5 to 9 gamepad, which comes with 50 game cards and is also available right now at 5to9game.com. And of course, we're checking out their stuff. I'm sitting here fumbling around in the dark looking for our music, trying to cue up some music, trying to make it play, embarrassing myself live on the air. And by live, I mean I am pre-recorded, so theoretically I could edit all this out, but I probably won't because it is entertaining to watch me continue fumbling around. There we go.
Maybe you should.
There's the music. Guys, if you 5to9ers listening out there in the podcast ether, we're chomping at the bit, yelling out a better solution to today's challenge as we play through it. You can enter for a chance to come on our show by beating us at our own game. Just download or purchase official 5to9 game cards at 5to9game.com. That's the number 5, T-O, the number 9, game.com. Play today's challenge, post your game card on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and tag at 5to9game in your post. High scores, as well as creativity and entertainment value, will be considered. This has been 5 to 9. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg. Our show is recorded at a shared universe podcast studio on the boardwalk in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Our sound engineer today is Chris Madd. Our theme music is by me, Eric Ginsberg. They're just going to start crinkling all the popcorn. Guys, subscribe to 5 to 9 podcast through the Apple Podcast app, Google Play Store, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube if you guys want to look at us too, or literally anywhere else you get your podcast. Please play with us online through social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can play today's challenge or make up your own. Oh, the music stopped. just make it start
Eric,
again.
you gotta write longer songs.
I know,
man.
it was just so long. Please play with us online through social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can play today's challenge or make up your own and play with or against the global 5 to 9 community. Just don't forget to tag at 5 to 9 game when you do. Thanks for listening, and let's play together again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.